Hello, everybody. What's up? It's Mark. Hope you can hear me. Can someone give me like a quick thumbs up in the message chat box there if you can hear me? Just want to make sure things are running well. Everything good? All right. Sounds good. All right, so let's get rolling. I'm gonna jump right into it. We're gonna be about 45 minutes here so we can get things started. I'm gonna share my screen so you can see me too. Hello, Colleen, how are you? You're the only one that I can see, so I gotta say hello. So we're going to start here. Seasonal depression. It's a great time of year to bring people this topic because I think I've had 8 people last week come into the practice and basically struggle with this very thing. So I think we're going to be quite timely in our deliverance of this message because I think so many of you are going to be able to take so many action steps from some of the things we're going to talk about here tonight. So let's get started, jump in, because I'm going to record this as well. So for those of you that maybe aren't able to make the webinar in person, you'll be able to see it in a recording as well, which is even better. We'll send that out tomorrow. All right, so let's get going. See if I can figure this out. Next slide. All right, so thanks for coming in. If some of you don't know me, some of you do know me. I'll tell you just briefly about me. I'm a naturopath. I run a clinic here in St. John's, and my clinic has 3 focuses. I focus on gut, mood, and energy issues. That's the 3 things that I saw primarily in my practice. And I've been doing this now for 9 years. I really kind of take what's called a functional medicine view, which basically means that I really want to dive into the why of how you've got here. So looking at things like your sleep, your stress, your lifestyle, your relationships, your food, all of these things are going to kind of be at play to maybe why you're experiencing the symptoms that you are. So for me, is what I really want to do when I meet people is kind of like understand what's happening behind the scenes that have led to you coming in with this issue. And that's what I kind of really do, is play a detective role in my practice, which makes it so much fun. So thanks for everyone for coming in tonight. Let's jump right into the action here. Okay, so what is seasonal depression? I mean, I think most of you are going to know that. I don't think that I need to answer that question, but let's do it. So we basically have these scenarios by which when seasons change, so does our mood. And I think that most of you on this tonight have kind of experienced that. And you know what? I've experienced that too. So I think looking at it objectively, when the season changes and we know it's getting colder, and you know what, how freaking hard is it to wake up and it's dark and get off work and get in your car and the friggin' headlights come on? It's zapping to your soul. It's that energy is pulled out of us. It kind of seems like all we want to do is basically sleep. So these are some of the things that kind of start happening to us when it comes to this change of season. There's numerous reasons why it happens, but for the most part, people have symptoms, and those symptoms are going to be things like constantly craving sugar, constantly feeling tired, fatigue, pain, lack of motivation, changes in your mood, changes in your behavior with your like friends and family and spouse and kids. I mean, like, this is a tough time of year for a lot of people when it comes to these common symptoms that you experience. And you know what? It's completely fine to experience these symptoms. I experience them almost on a weekly basis. There's days that are hard for me. There's days that are easy for me. So it's not like you have it all the time and you always experience it. Some people are going to really have that. But for me, I know there's just those days where it's like, man, I don't want to get out of bed today. I just don't. But you know what? For me, I kind of make it a mental note to push it away. And I know that I need to get up and just crush my days, because you know what? I feel so much better when I do get up and really kind of use that as motivation to conquer that hurdle that my body is telling me no, but my will is telling me yes. And that's a great motivator for me to kind of get up there and get those things knocked out of the way. So I'm going to show you tonight some of the things that I do, and I sometimes recommend for my clients that are struggling with this, so that you can take this and run with it and see if you can kind of make a change in how you feel. So the spring and fall is basically the biggest time that we see these things start to happen. So for some people, they notice it actually when the summer kind of goes away. Like some people even after that summer solstice. So summer solstice is actually a great day of the year. It's actually my birthday. So summer solstice is one of those days where it is kind of the longest day of the year. Some people can actually notice a couple of weeks after that that they start to kind of feel a little bit off, a little bit down. And that's sometimes just basically to do with the amount of light that we get. The other thing you got to factor in, for most of us here, some of you are from Nova Scotia, some of you are from the United States, way closer to the equator. But for me, I'm sitting in St. John's, Newfoundland, and I'm nowhere close to the equator. And it's interesting to see the sun's rays, basically the angle the sun hits the earth can make a difference with how much light we get. And that kind of exposure to light makes a big difference when it comes to how we go through the seasons. So for so many of us that have to deal with snow and rain and sleet and cleaning off our cars and car starters and warming them up, spring and fall is one of those, winter is that it's right around the corner. It's coming. We gotta get prepared for those long, hard months that we're all kind of going into. So you know what? Of course, you're gonna want to start eating something that's gonna make you happy. And what is the most common food people eat when they need to feel happy? Sugar. Damn it, right? So sugar is one of those beasts that we see kind of poke its head up this time of the year, because it's really going to be that thing that tells your brain everything's okay. It tells your brain you're experiencing pleasure and euphoria, and keep doing that behavior. So if you're finding yourself caught in that trap of, you know what, why do I have these cravings for certain foods at only these certain times of the year? That might be it. It might be that your brain chemistry gets rewarded based on those sugary types of foods. And we talked originally about one of the symptoms when it comes to this seasonal affective disorder we're going to talk about here is going to be weight gain. So talking about the fact that you don't want to move, you don't want to go outside, you don't want to get out and spend time with your friends, and you want to sit down and eat sugary types of foods, of course your weight's going to change. How can it not, right? But you got to think, your body is just only doing what it thinks is right. It's not trying to do this. It's doing what it knows it should do to help you feel better. But so many times it's leading us down a path that's a trap. It's a trap door. And unfortunately, we have to do things to get out in front of that trap, to push our bodies back into a state by which we don't walk down that pathway all of the time. I'm not saying to you that you can't eat cupcakes and you can't have a cookie and you can't enjoy yourself. Don't feel like life is always taking something away from you. 2020 is already taking enough away from us. Am I right? But at the end of the day, we have to realize when our limits are. And so many times we have to do things, I always call it earn your reward. So that's what I want to talk to you about tonight, about some of the things we can do in your lifestyle is really going to help you with getting those symptoms on track. So the causes, there's three, and nobody agrees what the causes are. Number one is the lack of sunshine. They think that the lack of sunshine, interestingly, is going to tell your body to go into hibernation mode, basically. So kind of wind down, go back to your reserve mode, which basically is everything slows down in the wintertime. You see this commonly, particularly for me in practice. I see this commonly with people that develop digestive issues, bloating and gas, and actually heartburn when they start still consuming their raw foods that they've been consuming all summer in the winter months. I see this all of the time because the diet didn't shift over into the different phase that your body's in. This is old school traditional naturopathy now. So basically eating with the season is something that we sometimes recommend for those that are struggling with those things like, I ate a salad today for lunch, man. Why am I so bloated at 2 o'clock? It looks like I'm 3, 4, 5 months pregnant. Sometimes that happens because your stomach acid isn't breaking down that food properly, partly because by nature, your body shouldn't be consuming a whole lot of raw foods in the wintertime. They wouldn't have basically been available. Right? So interestingly, the body sometimes gives a little bit of those nudges to push back. And one of those causes is going to be coming up with your light exposure is next. So light is going to be another thing that we know when it hits your eyeball, it jumps to a back part of your brain that tells you what time it is. It's called your circadian rhythm, or your rhythmic nature. And what's interesting, your hormones inside of your body are paired to this circadian rhythm. So as the light changes, the amount of hormone ebb and flow and the waxing and waning of hormones changes during this time, because your eyes and this frontal part of your forehead here is going to basically be getting exposure to light. So I say the front of your forehead because there's actually rods and cones, the same thing that lets you see color and shape inside of your eyes are here too. in your, it's called your third eye. I've heard that before from, say, like a yoga or traditional kind of practice. It's right there. Your forehead can also get exposure to the same light as here. And that's going to tell you basically what time it is. And I'll tell you right now it's about 8, what is it? I've got my phone. It's about 8:10 at night. Your body, because you're looking at this screen, is seeing a light spectrum that's telling you it's lunchtime at the equator. It's so bright that these lights are kind of telling your eye it's a different color. So going back to the seasonal end, the change of the light spectrum is going to change those hormonal balances inside of your body. And that's another one that they sometimes think might be at root to why we have this seasonal affective issue. And the last one is going to be potentially low serotonin. So this is the one that's still a question mark, because it's interesting. We have a ton of medication classes that are out there to kind of help your body think that it's getting more serotonin. And those are your antidepressants. And they're not bad. They're necessary for a lot of people. Don't get my words twisted. However, if they're supposed to be telling your body there's more serotonin on board, how is it that over 50% of people still experience symptoms even with that medication in there? So it's very cool. And I know that that's like a multifaceted approach, but taking the lens that this hormone must be low, which is why we're experiencing this issue, unfortunately, that's really hard to prove. So it's interesting to see that there's a lot of research going into now is this, well, why is it that that's the case? So this serotonin riddle, what's very interesting, this serotonin riddle that we're talking about, 70% of the serotonin your body creates and uses never goes to your brain. It stays in your gut. 70%. So think about that number for a second. What's one of the biggest things, because of what I just told you, that you can change tomorrow to change how this feels? Your gut. So if we can get your gut back in shape, we can knock down that bloating, we can knock down that gas, we can get foods in there that nourish your body, we're going to make a dramatic change in how your mood is, because your gut and your brain are wired together. Think of that for a second. We can directly influence your mood by giving you different foods that are going to be what we call precursors to making serotonin. And we can do that by things you put in your mouth. One of the best ones, pistachio nuts, loaded with a nutrient called tryptophan that directly makes serotonin inside your gut. Fascinating. Combine that with a little bit of honey. So think of this, I'm giving away all my secrets here, but giving you tryptophan from the nuts and giving you honey, that's going to get you B vitamins. B vitamins are going to be essential for your body assembling those different neurotransmitters and helping you regulate them and break them down. Add a little bit of an Epsom salt bath, you're well on your way, because Epsom salt has magnesium, and magnesium is also going to help you break down and utilize some of those neurotransmitters that your gut has inside of it. So I just gave you 3 things you can change from your food just because you're on this webinar that you didn't know before you signed on. So you can make a cocktail in the mid-afternoon, or when you get home from work, and you can have pistachio nuts, get a magnesium Epsom salt bath, and have 2 teaspoons of honey. You're off to the races. Do that for a month. Let me know how you feel. I bet you'll start kind of coming around, start feeling better, because we're using food as medicine, the way it's designed to be used. Fair? So there's lots of different causes of SAD, or seasonal affective disorder, but let's just deal with what we know. So risk factors. Having a bipolar or a depression or a mood issue going in, you're probably going to be more affected by the season. And the other thing that's a huge risk factor is your stress level. Everyone has been through the freaking ringer this year with 2020. Nobody that I know that I've spoken to has come out of 2020 and say, you know what, I'm farther ahead than I was when I was in 2019. Not one person. If they are, please, if you are, please sign on and tell me what the hell you did to feel that way. Because it's fascinating to see that we've all been under so much stress, so many different things, that we're all kind of prone to this issue. Even myself, I'm a pretty upbeat, happy-go-lucky guy. Yes, I have my Italian temper. Yes, I'm loud and sometimes being obnoxious. I get that. But you know what? I've even noticed this year that, you know what? The pep that I carry in my step is just not what it was last year. And it's not because I'm any older. I don't feel a second older than 25. But interestingly, it's because of the stress we're under. You know, we're just all carrying this burden of our families and lockdowns and our kids going to school and being able to go to the grocery store and buy toilet paper. I mean, like, come on, right? These are the things we had to deal with in 2020. So it only makes sense that we're probably experiencing more of those issues because the risk factors are stacking up against us. So let's talk about what you can do. So treatment options, there's a ton. Now, let me preface this by starting this way. If you're having these thoughts or tendencies or changes that you think are way out of the norm for you, if you don't want to be here, if you want to do some bodily harm to yourself or others, go to your doctor. Please get the necessary help that you need. Maybe that requires medication. Maybe that requires counseling. There's nothing wrong with any of it, okay? So the things I'm going to outline here for you today are things that I want you to add into your lifestyle, but I also want to make sure that you can't just do this if you feel all those things we just mentioned. So if you're having suicidal thoughts or tendencies or actions, you know what? You probably should talk to your doctor, not listen to this webinar, right? Makes sense? So let's just be smart about this, okay? But if you want to kind of supercharge the things in your lifestyle to change how you feel, let's go through some of the awesome ways that I use on a daily basis with patients, with clients, with myself to get you some help. So look at this picture. It's an image of a light on someone's head. So interestingly, light therapy is a fascinating way to see that we can actually change the environment. I use this one. It's called a Juve light. Let me turn it on for you. Juve light. Look how bright that is. That's a red light. So basically, I shine that on my face, my forehead, the top of my head, my thyroid gland. Sometimes I actually use it on the top of my chest to boost a little bit of immunity. Interestingly, light can actually tell your body to make more energy. And it's fascinating to see that just those light frequencies alone, by adding them to the body, can change your mood. So this is a handheld version of a Juve light, I call it. So you can buy these online. Like, I think that was like $600. They have a 90-day money-back guarantee. You're seeing this video at the best time too. They're going to have a Black Friday sale. This is the handheld version. They also have a full body panel. That's going to be a little bit more expensive, almost like maybe like $2,000 or something. But again, such a cool thing if you have something like a mood issue or a skin issue that requires some light therapy, or chronically inflamed. This little thing is absolutely crazy. I love to use it, and it's so simple, and there's basically no side effects. There's no tolerable upper limit of how much light you can put inside your body. Doing it more might just get you to the point where you feel more awake. But for me, I find this really helps guide me into that sleep that I'm looking for, help me reach those deeper layers of sleep just by using light. So fascinating stuff. So Joovv, Joovv. I make no money from Joovv. I'm not affiliated at all. I'm just a fan of their products. They're absolutely fantastic. And I love that you can get on there, try it in your home, 30, 60, 90-day trial, and you can take it back if you don't like it. Right? So very, very simple. And again, maybe a good use of your money. Natural solutions. Look what this lady's doing. Exercise, right? So super common to see exercise. It's a great one. We're going to cover that in detail in a second. I want to talk to you about a Dawn simulator. Have anybody heard of these? If you did, give me like a like or thumbs up. What a Dawn simulator is going to do is basically going to be like an alarm clock. And it's going to know the time zone that you're in, and it's going to kind of start bringing you out of sleep at a very specific time, because it's going to be simulating the sun rising. So it's going to go through a different color field as you wake up. And what's going to happen, it's going to kind of wake you out of that sleep and help you feel that you actually woke up with the sunshine, which is fascinating because we see so many times, like I said, you go to sleep, you're fine, you wake up, it's completely dark, it's pitch black when you're waking up. Your body didn't get a cue that it's time to wake up. So that's why we tend to sleep in a bit more this time of the year. So a Dawn simulator might be one of those things that's very, very effective for you. You're going to see there's an email I'm going to send to you tomorrow with a whole page of links, okay? And I'm going to put a link into the Dawn simulator that I recommend. It's from Amazon. It's really easy. It's not expensive. Might be a great addition to your alarm clock. Maybe make that change just to see if adding that to your day changes your routine. So maybe look for a Dawn simulator. I also use a light bulb in my room, and the light bulb in my room is actually controlled by my phone. So I can tell my light next to me in my lamp to turn on at a certain time with a certain color. fascinating. So I can say when I know I want to get up, I get up at 6:15, 6:30 in the morning. I can tell my lamp to turn on with the brightest blue color hue you can possibly make. My whole room is blue. And going to bed at night, I turn my lights to red. Red, think campfire, sleep, calm down. So you can actually get a light bulb that can change the ambience in your room. And that might sometimes help give your body some of those cues that it's missing during this time of the year. So just fascinating stuff. There'll be a link for those light bulbs as well. The ones I use are called iLumi, and Philips also makes another really interesting bulb. You just kind of screw it in and it connects via Bluetooth to your phone. So it's fascinating stuff. For me, I don't turn my phone on at night. I turn it off completely. But once you program in the schedule inside your light bulb, it holds it. It won't move until you change it. So it's fascinating to see that that's the case. So we just talked about how wake up lights work. Get outside. I did a video last week on my Instagram. If you're not following my Instagram, please make sure that you do that. My handle is @MKNatHealth. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, I post so many cool things on Instagram about what I'm doing, clinic, new products, discounts, all those different things on Instagram. So make sure you follow me on Instagram if you're not already. But getting outside is crucial. Maybe not today. So in Newfoundland today would literally be wind was enough to blow your head off. It was crazy, and wind and all those different things. You know what? I didn't leave the house literally all day, not for 1 second. So I don't feel my best right now because I didn't leave the house. But taking the time to get out in nature, get outside, experience your friends, your family, just experience what nature has to offer us. It's a great idea to kind of help beat these seasonal blues. And what's fascinating to see, people tend to feel more grounded when they're actually outside and in nature. So listening to a river run, listening to the trees blow, listening to the birds chirp, you can actually reconnect to Mother Earth just by going outside. So take the time, take the opportunities on a daily basis to get out there and breathe that fresh air. You know, big, big, big belly breaths. You know, when you breathe in through your nose, breathe in all that nature has to offer and breathe out all that crap that we don't need to be carrying around with us. So do that on a regular basis. Just get outside and see that sunshine. It's fascinating. Bringing up sunshine, vitamin D deficiency. It's massive. Anybody here know their vitamin D levels? I do because I test them. But most people, you get to the point where you can't even get a test for vitamin D now. So interestingly, vitamin D deficiency is probably all around us and we have absolutely no idea. Another thing that's been interesting to pop out of COVID was that a lot of people that were hospitalized for COVID, when they ran vitamin D for them, they were pretty much all deficient. And some of those deficiencies actually happened in warm climate states. So things like Florida, things like California, all those places that get a lot of sunshine, a lot of vitamin D deficiency there because of the fact that we walk outside all day with sunscreen. Right? So interesting, but it will actually block the sun's rays coming inside your skin, and it stops that production of vitamin D. Now think, living in Newfoundland, we're going to go into winter. This is the only thing that's going to be exposed to the sun for a couple of months coming up here. It's just your face. You're not walking outside with a t-shirt on and shorts, getting the sunshine, right? So vitamin D deficiency is likely all around us. That's why we rely on supplements most time for this kind of phase of the year to make sure that we're getting our adequate amounts of vitamin D. And for me, vitamin D is as simple as a finger prick. So we prick your finger at home, in the office. You put 5 different dabs on a card, and basically we send that card back to the lab and they can assess your vitamin D levels from just that small sample of your blood. So I'll put a video in the notes that you're gonna get tomorrow in your email. There'll be a video there of me doing my vitamin D test. And I'll show you exactly what I do and how it works. So you actually get that number. You know, so if you're walking around, your vitamin D is at 10, you know what? Your vitamin D you have to supplement with is probably a lot higher than someone with vitamin D walking around at, say, 50. Last time I tested, my vitamin D was at 63, which is a little bit higher than the average. So the average is between, say, like, there's a category, so say 30 to 50. I was at about 63. So that's a good way. But I also had vitamin D tests in the past that have been at that point where my vitamin D has been like 90, which is kind of too high. So there's a sweet spot for vitamin D. So you can't just say to people, you know, take 5,000 units of vitamin D per day. It doesn't really work that way because vitamin D is not going to be peed out of your body like most of the other vitamins are. It's going to be stored inside your fat cells. So if you take a lot of it on a long-term basis, it's going to store faster. And sometimes there'll be some consequences to come out of taking too high vitamin D. So getting a test might be the best $100 you've ever spent to figure out, you know, where should I be going? How much should I be taking? Very, very easy to do a vitamin D test either in your home. I just send you a kit in the mail. You FedEx it back. Simple. Or you're in St. John's, come down to the office, grab a kit, do it in the office, do it at home. Don't care. Super easy. But taking some vitamin D, preferably in an oral form that you get in I like liquids because of convenience. And with vitamin D, you also want to look for a nutrient called vitamin K2. So vitamin K2 is going to actually help you move around that calcium that your vitamin D is going to tell you to start absorbing more of. So you want to make sure we're not like calcifying different parts of your body just because we're taking vitamin D. So vitamin D is a crucial one. So if you have questions about that, email me so I can get you the help that you need, okay? Diet, my favorite topic. So many people eating way too much sugar, right? But here's the takeaway. I want you to realize that your gut is directly influenced by this. What you decide to put in your mouth is going to tell your gut how it behaves, okay? So if you've got anxiety, you've got depression, you got mood issues, the first thing that you're in control of to feel better is your food. So choosing better food that has more color, more protein, more good high quality fats, you're going to start feeling better. So getting rid of canola oil, vegetable oils, all these dirty, crappy oils, you're rebuilding every one of your cells with that crap. Think about that for a second. You don't need to be consuming that. Olive oil, coconut oil, avocado, good high quality animal fats, egg yolks, amazing sources of good high quality fats that we all want to start consuming. Protein. It's the thing, it's your firewood that keeps your furnace hot. It's basically, that's what you need to be consuming. And what you need to think about protein is it basically builds your body's tissues. So ask yourself, what am I building my body out of? If it means that you're eating McDonald's and takeout and processed foods a couple days per week, your body's going to start looking like that wrap with that processed chicken you're eating, or that chicken sandwich you're eating that's breaded with all that crap on it. Don't rebuild your body with things that we know are going to fall apart. So trying to find good high quality pieces of fish and chicken and beef and lamb, and if you like organ meats, eat them. All those great things about protein are what we're looking for. And then nourish your body with your nutrients. You're going to get your nutrients, vitamins, and minerals from eating the color in your diet. So more greens and reds and purples and oranges. These are the colors that we're looking for inside your diet, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you that I have a diet plan ready to go for you. You're going to see a whole bunch of detail on it in a second. But diet is the thing that I do best. And the question that so many people have for me is, Mark, what in the hell am I supposed to be eating? I've answered that question by putting it inside of an app for you. I'm going to tell you what's breakfast, what's lunch, what's supper, what's the recipes, what's the menu plan. I'm giving it all to you, and you're getting a smoking deal on it tonight for $29 for 28 days. That's literally $1 a day for me to tell you what foods to eat, what's going to nourish your body, what to take out. It's all going to be there for you, and I'm putting it on your phone. Super simple, grocery list. I'm going to tell you more detail in a second. But diet, you're in control of that. I just told you how to assemble a nice, great support pack for your mood. Pistachio nuts, getting that honey inside your diet, and also getting that Epsom salt bath. So if you have to just start there, maybe you don't need my plan, great. But just start with that. Your energy, your mood, your behavior, your motivation will start to change just by making some very simple dietary habits. And getting rid of that never-ending crutch of sugar, I know that it's hard. I know that it's a battle, but it has to happen. You have to get off the sugar train. It goes to a station that you don't want to be dropped off at. It leads to complications of diabetes and metabolic syndrome, and it leads to inflammation and pain and sore joints. And who in the hell wants to go there? So I know sugar is good. I know it tells your brain to feel good, but we got to break that relationship up because it's not a favorable one for a long-term solution for you. So got to break that habit. Healing foods. One of my favorite healing foods, mushrooms. Also love garlic. Also love onions. Also love these deep-rooted, colorful greens. So kale, Swiss chard, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower. Love all those. They're just jam-packed full of nutrients, right? And also you can get fermented foods. These are going to deliver probiotics to your body. Things like kimchi, sauerkraut, amazing kefir sometimes too, amazing options to kind of get those gut bugs back working the way that they should. And that's all through food. Movement doesn't have to be complicated, doesn't have to be crazy. Let's look at the exercise options. That thing you're sitting on right now, that has to move. That's it. That's as complicated as you have to make exercise. So for me, when I do phone consultations with people, I don't sit down, I walk. I walk around my house, walk around my office, I walk up and down stairs. I just move. Go outside, walk, do 10 squats, do 10 push-ups, do 50 jumping jacks. Don't have to do them at one time, do them in the day. So just do things with your body to move it. If you don't want to move that way, just stretch. Stand up, bend over, touch your toes. 90% of us that don't have issues with our back and knees should be able to get pretty darn close to our toes. But if you can't, maybe that's one thing you want to work on. Just work on flexibility, because that is going to help with your muscle tension. It's going to help with that where you're carrying your pain and inflammation. Getting those joints moving again is the way that we encourage blood flow and more things are brought back into our body that are positive. So maybe focus on stretching or yoga. I mean, like go online, go to YouTube and just put in yoga for beginners. Learn 4 movements that you can put into your day every day. Exercise doesn't have to be complicated, and you don't need to own a gym membership to derive the benefits of it. Just move. Cognitive behavioral therapy, fascinating. I don't do this. This would be something that you have to be referred to for a certain type of a psychologist, whether it's a counselor, or it's a whatever that is. But cognitive behavioral therapy basically recognize when you're walking down that negative path. And I see this all of the time for people when they tell me their story about how they feel. They always end sentences on a negative note. Do you know that person? How was your day today? Great, but it was raining. Right? Negative. Negative. So you know what? Answer the question this way. How was your day today? Man, the rain was crazy today. Did you experience that? It was amazing to see how much rain came down. I had a great day, and I wished that I would have done more outside to get experience into that rain. See the difference? Just change the frame. Now you know it's raining out and it was really bad today, but I'm upbeat about it. So recognizing when you're doing that. Sometimes when I see people, I get them to tap when they do it. So tap your wrist, tap your arm, tap your forehead, whatever you need to do. Just recognize that you're doing it, right? Some people, it's a matter of like turning their ring, turning a wedding band. So you notice that you're walking down this path of, I'm talking about things negative again. Just do this. That can be a cue to say, oh, stop, right? Something simple just to get you out of that mode. That's cognitive behavioral therapy. Just recognizing that to walk down that pathway. So at the end of the day, if you need help with that, maybe try to find someone in your area. Do a quick Google search for someone that might be cognitive behavioral therapist in your area. Or if you need one, let me know. I can certainly make a recommendation for someone that might be able to help you. The power of journaling, one of my favorite things, is to get the emotions out of here and on a page, because when they're in here, you problem solve. And when they're in here, when they're on a page, you don't have to do that. There's just information written there. It doesn't make any sense. That's fine, because up here, all the solutions to all of your problems get solved that fast. And every outcome that you have from all those possible solutions happens like that. And that is your stress hormone. That's what you take to bed with you. That's what changes your ability to sleep and your ability to associate with people. And that's what changes, is what you're carrying. That baggage you're walking around with is your emotional burden. Write it down. And what you also want to end your journal note on, so talk about the things that you're carrying around for your emotional standpoint, but now end your journal article using cognitive behavioral methods with gratitude. What are you grateful for? Give me one thing that you're grateful for. I was grateful today to spend the entire day with my daughter. The entire day. She has a stuffy nose, can't go to school. That means I'm home. I was grateful to spend the entire day with her. And you know what? Mom usually puts her to bed at night. I put her to bed tonight because I was with her all day. I don't usually get to do that. So I'm grateful for that experience today, to have that nice rainy day and to be home with her and change my whole schedule. But I'm grateful to be able to spend that day with her. It was awesome, right? So that's the kind of thing you want to take to bed with you at night, not all the crap you dealt with today. managing your stress is also key. So I'm going to send you a link in that document page, and I want you to visit this site, okay? It's going to basically walk you through all the methods of stress support that I have for you. There's questionnaires, there's breathing techniques, there's all these different things to help you manage your stress. Stress management is one of the biggest things you can do to help change how you feel, because stress, I want you to think of stress like paper cuts. They hurt, they're not going to kill you. It's if I give you 1,000 paper cuts, something bad's going to happen, right? And that's what we have to kind of tackle inside our day. So let some of those cuts heal up before we go get more. So monitor your stress effectively, because stress hormone wants to break your body apart. It wants to break you down. It's what's called a catabolic hormone. It wants to break you down. So the more you use it, the more your body's going to feel like it's breaking down. So we have to manage that stress effectively. Breathing, journaling, yoga, relationships, funny, laughing, all great ways to monitor your stress. That page I'm going to send you is going to be crucial for any of you wondering, what the hell do I do to help with my stress? So use that resource wisely. It's there for a reason. Aromatherapy, essential oils. I love them because they instantly, your brain is wired to your nose. It's the fastest sense that you have is your smell. It's going to react to the brain the fastest. So for me, I walk in my office every day and I turn on wild orange. I love the smell of orange. It invigorates me. It gets me up. It gets me motivated. It changes my mood. I love it. I also use cedar wood. I love that smell as well. And this time of the year, I'll also use that Christmas tree smell. So a little bit of juniper berries, a couple of these different things added to the house to kind of give that warm and spicy kind of feel. So aromatherapy can work quite well as well. So if you have no experience with essential oils, there's also a great email series I have done, and I can help you kind of like get the base of essential oils. Again, I'm not an aromatherapist. However, I know that these natural solutions can directly impact your mood. And if that helps you, then I'm happy that you found that route to get yourself back on track. So let's talk about the solution, okay? So many people are looking for the solution. Let's talk about it. Give your gut some love. That's number one. Get your food on track. Again, your gut is wired to your brain. 70% of those serotonin markers that you're going to kind of see inside of your body, they're inside your gut. And your brain is kind of checking in with your gut to say, how we doing down there, guys? And what's also really cool, melatonin, your sleep hormone, is made from serotonin. So it's serotonin is here, melatonin is there. It's made from it. So we need enough serotonin to feel that hormone surge to make our sleep hormone melatonin. Fascinating, right? So we have to kind of make sure we're doing the right things for our foods to control our guts so that our gut can control our mood. Does that make sense to you? It's all connected like a spider web, and you are in control. The next thing that you eat can help with your mood. It's going to go in there, and it's going to impact this, which is going to send a signal up to your brain to tell you how you're feeling. So if your next thing is going to be a chocolate bar, you're going to be happy for 3 seconds. That's it. But if your next thing that you eat is that combination, some of those pistachio nuts, some of those honey, some of those big, good quality nutrients, you're probably going to feel better, right? Because it's going to control your gut. Now, we have a program done for you, okay? It's going to be on an app. It's going to be $29. This is what you're getting. You're going to get a menu plan, a grocery list, a recipe, a daily tip, a reminder, and you're going to get direct access to me via a text message feature built into your app. I'm giving you all of that to help you succeed for $29. That is unreal. The diet we're following is a paleo style diet. So we're taking out breads, sugars, dairy. We're taking out a whole bunch of stuff. But you know what? I'm adding so many things back into your day to help supercharge your mood that you're not even going to notice those things are missing. It's incredible to watch what happens when you put someone on a real whole foods plan that just changes what they're putting inside their body. It's amazing to watch what the body kind of gives back. $30 basically, right? So we're going to have to charge some tax on that. So $29 plus tax is going to get you your month's access to that plan with my support and my guidance. And I got a ton of videos that I'm going to add to put in there to kind of keep you motivated and keep you moving forward so you can keep learning with me. The other one, supplements. So many people need supplemental support, partly because of their diet. So here's the thing. There's 4 that I recommend. This one up top in the left-hand corner, amino acids supreme, that's your firewood. That's going to keep your wood stove stocked with wood and fuel to keep yourself feeling great. It's actually a liquid. It's in this cup. I'm drinking it right now. So interestingly, that's a liquid you put inside the day. You can start your day with that. You can end your day with that, whatever you want to do. But think, amino acids are the individual protein building blocks that help build you up. We're going to give you those in a capsule. Change your mood the second you finish drinking them. B vitamins, the second one you see on the right there, B Supreme. One of my favorite B vitamins to put in there because it's going to start changing your mood the second you swallow it. Amazing to see the difference in how people perform with their mental acuity, their sharpness, and their mood changes by taking a simple B vitamin. Zinc. Why I love zinc is one of those nutrients that's also incredibly good for helping with your immunity, number one. But second, zinc helps with your hormones. So if I can get you a little bit more of those hormonal support message that you need, I'm going to be doing a big favor. And I also love Zinc Supreme because the combination in there is also going to give you a couple of really good nutrients for your thyroid. So a lot of people that have these mood disorders have thyroid disorders as well. Zinc Supreme is also a great combination product to put in there if you have some kind of thyroid issue. And the last one, my favorite supplement of all, magnesium. Magnesium, crucial for muscle contractions, quality sleep, getting you to relax, getting to the point where it's controlling your hormones, dealing with your stress. That's what magnesium is going to do inside your body. So I want you to envision that magnesium is going to be able to take this load, this burden that your body's dealing with these neurotransmitters and help funnel it out of your body. And you're going to poop and pee those neurotransmitters out. They need to go in and they need to go out. And magnesium needs to be that nutrient that helps you do that. So many people get more restorative, deeper sleep with just adding magnesium. So those would be the 4 support packs, the 4 support products I'd recommend in a pack for any of you that really want to say, I want to do this. I want to change how I feel. Do the diet, do the supplements. Tell me in a month that you feel better. The interesting thing about that pack, it's going to be $130. I'm discounting it 15% for you just because you're on this call. So I normally don't do discounts this amount. Like I just usually don't do discounts at all. This is all going to be available to you at a 15% discount. I'm happy to pass that along to you because I thank each and every one of you for being on this call with me and taking the steps to do the things to learn what you can do to feel better. Very, very awesome. Very proud of you. And I really hope to take advantage of what I'm offering to you here tonight because this is what I do in my practice. This is what I do with people that come through the door and say, Mark, what do I do for my mood? You're getting it. And you're getting it for $29 for a month. A lot of people pay $200 per hour to get this program. So it's a lot of cool stuff. So I want you to feel recharged. I want you to feel like you're moving in a positive direction. I want you to feel like you're in control of your mood. As I've done a job here tonight to tell you, your next meal can change your mood. And I really hope you take advantage of that and get to the point where you actually start feeling better and actually feel recharged. Do the things in your life that can make you feel recharged. Cool? I think we have one more slide here. Just a quick thank you. So thank you very much for being here. I very much appreciate your time on what's today, Tuesday at 8 o'clock. It's been great to have you here. I'm going to open up for a couple of more questions. If you have any questions for me, please put them in the chat box right now. I'll open up my chat box. But yeah, if you want in, all I need you to do is email me. Just email me and say, Mark, I'm in for that program. I'll send you everything you need in the link. I'll also put that inside of the email. It's going to come out to you tomorrow with the links that I promised you. But listen, thank you so much for coming on board. I know you're in control of your mood, and I hope you have a wicked night. Thanks. Stacy, you are welcome. That's it. How we do? 8:44. That's awesome. So good timing. Time to wind down for sleep. I hope you take advantage of that, guys. And if you have any questions for me, I am here. Thanks, Colleen. Good to see you. Thanks again. Jill, thank you. Okay, we're going to sign off so we can get this stuff recorded. I appreciate all the comments. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, and we'll be in touch with you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.